Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Sam Brown delivers a fantastic speech at this Trump rally in Nevada. He does a fantastic job breaking down of what it really means to be a garbage person. I'm glad we've taken that back. But before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to our great sponsors over at Colonial Metals Group. They quite literally have the cure to Bidenflation and Harris economics, but more on that later. Now, let's dive in.
You know, Jackie Rosen's neighborhood is more secure than our southern border. She's got gate guards, she's got gates and fences. It's time to put our country's security at the top of the list. How about that? Jackie Rosen's also bragged about voting for Bidenomics. You know, most of us have felt a pinch in our wallet over these last 4 years. But you know what? Jackie Rosen, her net worth has gone up 61% as she has violated the Stock Act over and over and over again. Again, it's shameful. It's disappointing that someone will look at us in the eyes and say that members of Congress shouldn't trade stocks. And she failed to disclose that she controls a trust fund worth $15 million. But you know what? This election is about consequences. Consequences for failed leadership. Consequences for the Biden-Harris administration. Consequences for Jackie Rosen. Consequences for the Democrats down the ballot who failed us, and you will lead to victory. There's one other thing I've got to say. Do we have any working class Nevadans out here tonight? You know, I wasn't always the man who got to stand on the stage like this. 6 years ago, I wore a different type of outfit. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm proud to have wore this 10-hour shifts in a fulfillment center, moving boxes, loading up semi-truck trailers. I'm proud to have left work with a sweat on my brow and sore muscles. I'm proud to have worked hard to put food on the table and a roof over my head, and so are you. I'm proud to stand with President Trump and working class Americans and working class Nevadans as we make America great again. Thank you.
Yes! Yes! More stuff like this, please. The garbage people comment from Joe Biden was probably meant to get this kind of reaction so Kamala Harris loses. There's this big conspiracy, and I actually believe this because I know people who know people on the inside because I live up in D.C. The Kamala Harris staffers and the Joe Biden staffers hate each other. And they know that deep down the only reason Kamala was brought on board was because she was the highest ranking black woman that they could find. And so Joe Biden picked her, simply put, because she checked off a lot of boxes and not because she's actually good at anything. Because the only thing she's really good at is being a parrot. All right? We have seen her time and time again look absolutely lost at rallies. There was a Howard Dean moment where she was talking to the crowd was cheering for her because all those people in those crowds are clapping like seals when they've received a treat. And what she does, she goes, "Yes, this is about all of you. Shout your name. Shout your name." And the entire crowd goes silent. Meanwhile, Republicans like Sam Brown, actual conservatives who understand that, wait a minute, we got to reform this stuff. And then they get called garbage by Joe Biden, and they realize, wait a minute, we can weaponize this. Any tactic that inspires either humor or ridicule against your opponent is a good tactic, period. So wearing the garbage vest is a smart thing to do. It's funny, it elicits humor, it gets people excited, you get to see it all over your feed, and you go, wait a minute, we're reclaiming something here. Hey y'all, I'm not exactly looking at retirement anytime soon, but my parents are. and friends of my parents are. And I'm sure either you or someone you know is looking at retirement and wondering, what do I do? How do I help prepare for this in this economy with this terrible president and with a vice president who basically coup d'etat him and is now looking to run for president herself? How do you protect against this? Well, simple. You go over to my friends at Colonial Metals Group. They quite literally have something called the Retirement Package Plan. This plan backs your wealth with gold and silver accounts. And furthermore, you will have direct access to these accounts. So you're not at the whims of Wall Street. You're not at the whims of inflation. You are in command of your own destiny. As a bonus, qualified applicants can receive up to $10,000 in free silver, plus a couple of other little goodies that they're going to package up for you, and you're going to be able to protect your wealth and your retirement. So go over to this link in the description below at colonialmetalsgroup.com or call this number 800-203-0422 and see how they can help you prepare for retirement today by backing your account with gold and silver. Don't delay your retirement, folks. Protect the money that you earned with Colonial Metals Group. They're here to help. This is a great tactic, and there are so many people that I've seen just clutch their pearls over it, and I'm wondering, do y'all just like being miserable? Do the people who don't like this, are you just deep down miserable? Because this is hilarious. And furthermore, garbage men are awesome. There's a reason little kids often go, particularly young boys, go in a couple of different directions. They're either dinosaur kids, train kids, or a handful of them love the garbage man because he rides on this big monstrous vehicle. He's lifting things up. He's burly. He's masculine. This is an awesome thing to mimic. And furthermore, not only are the majority of these dudes pretty awesome people and pretty chill, because they get to work out. They get to work out in the sun all day. They get to absorb all that vitamin D. Because there actually is a health link between vitamin D and more healthy mindsets. And it's why millennials, we were raised on video games. It's why we're a little bit more cooked than Gen X. Because they played outside, we played inside. And so these garbage men, I wish my teachers had the wherewithal, and none of them actually did this, but there's a common trend, a trope. I had very good teachers. As much as I rip on our education system, I got lucky with most of my teachers. But ultimately, I wish that I had been taught that garbage men make a decent living because they handle some of the toughest refuse management in the world. And you know what? We've got to talk about the difference between Democrat garbage and Republican garbage. In Democrat cities, in DC, what they do, they give us 2 giant bins to recycle and 1 small bin for garbage. But the garbage comes up twice a week, so it balances out. So it's a really dumb, more wasteful system. Meanwhile, Republicans, they realize that, we keep on working with these bad garbage companies. Okay, we'll get a new one. Because out in the Cobb County, what they noticed is a couple of the cities, not Marietta. Marietta actually runs pretty well, ironically enough. But in the North Cobb area, they started noticing that their current sanitation group was just slacking. There were people taking days off. No one seemed to care. Garbage trucks weren't coming in on time. Sometimes it would be weeks. And so in Republican areas, no more public works in this regard. We're going to privatize it. Trash Taxi came in and they did a fantastic job. So in Republican circles, we realized that public works might not always need to be public. Maybe you should privatize some of this. That's out of the box thinking. That is the anti-bureaucratic thinking, and that's the kind of thinking that we need in DC because we've got to declutter DC. All right, there's a reason we say drain the swamp, because DC is quite literally a swamp. It's right at the edge of the fall line, and that's where the Potomac River makes this huge curve, and a lot of water shoots past. So no one wanted the DC land, and that's kind of why they made the capital there. But it used to be a swamp and it needs to be drained once again. Sam Brown is one of those people. He's one of those reformers that can help get this done. And it's why I'm very hopeful that he wins in Nevada. I do want to utter a word of warning. because I like putting my money where my mouth is. I like making predictions. It's a big reason why I like fantasy football. And I usually win my matchups. There is something that does worry me a little bit. Since it's so late in the campaign season, everyone's getting their internals back. He is complaining about how much money his Democrat opponent is making. That's always a red flag. I hope that this garbage thing really reignites the conversation, because blue-collar people, and particularly hotel workers in Las Vegas, under Democrat leadership and ridiculous lockdowns, they are mad. They were mad in 2020, but they also blame Trump a little bit. They're still mad today. And there's a lot of Latinos who are realizing that Democrats are kind of screwing us over on some major issues. It's time to start looking elsewhere. So, reform is in the air. But there is a small red flag I just want to make sure, and that way you know it too. Whenever your candidate starts complaining about the opponent's money, that's not good. But the conditions are right. People are angry at the status quo, and the Democrats are the current status quo. Sam Brown is a reformer, and he is a patriot. And ultimately, when you're amazing enough to pull off a garbage fest and show the world what kind of work you used to do, because those people are awesome. The garbage men, thank you for what you do. That's what public service really looks like. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Political Brawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.